Tradition for me is just a practice that has been passed down from time to time. As we could see with art, there are different kinds of traditions with different forms of art, expressions from music to paintings, drawings, including poetry. And I think with tradition to me is something that is important. Some values of that tradition could range from an important family event to having a get together, sort of like a reunion for like your high school, or even just, father to son with passing down the mantle of teaching the son how to fish, how to change a tire. Those are the kind of traditions that I think are pretty important as they change over time. That becomes a part of that person's life, and they can use those skills to create their own life into a good direction, depending on what they learn and what's been influenced them around. I think tradition is important to maintain a healthy family. Family traditions, for example, are really rare these days. We don't see any people out there saying, "Oh, my dad's around," and usually it's the opposite, and they struggle. Having not a complete family doesn't mean that you're a bad person or end up in a bad situation, but having those family values could increase life happiness and expectancy. I really think that that's what's important. And for me, in a way, tradition in my family, for example, is having family movie nights, um, communicating, and always going to church, even if we are going to be leaving the nest soon, my brother and I. We make it a point where we think it's important that we're together and we keep those family values with passing down when we become parents of ourselves. I plan on getting married, I plan on having kids, and my mother taught me this tradition of um, always being honest and being concise. Even if we lie, we always forgive. So those are important traditions for me. I think what mostly influenced me was mostly my mom teaching me sports. I didn't have a dad around, and I ended up getting good at soccer, somewhat with football, and definitely with her always telling me how to keep an eye on the ball, but not always leaving my eyesight on the opponent, but always trying to get to either the end zone or score a goal. I think she's been one of my greatest motivators to always trying to do better, even when I don't succeed. She tells me to get back up, and she's my best friend. So I hope to be that parent to my son or daughter one day and teach them not to give up. Something that I think that's a tradition in my family, at least, not giving up.